and gents, Coach Ryan of Axistence Athletics explaining the intent of today's training session. What I'd like you to do is set a clock for 15 minutes and focus on your butt. That's right. Well, your lower half. All right? So for 15 minutes, we're going to be concentrated on the lower body. All right? Every third minute on the minute for 5 rounds, we're going to complete 2 different movements. Now on the tactical side of things, that's going to be a front squat, a barbell front squat. Now you can clean it from the floor or you can pull it from the rack, but you're going to be working at about 60%. All right, so if you know what that max is on your front squat, you're going to be working at about 60% of that. Knees tracking over the toes, elbows up as high as you can, slightly pointed in towards one another, and of course that hip crease dropping slightly below parallel. All right, on the practical side of things, we're going to be looking at goblet squats. So the goblet squat is a great way to kind of learn that ideal squat pattern. Still thinking about knees tracking over the toes, weight on the heels, toes gripping the floor. All right, you want to hold that kettlebell and or dumbbell, all right, as close to your body as you can in the goblet squat. So it's going to be 15 goblet squats for practical, and it's going to be 10 front squats at 60% for the tactical. Now, the next movement in this sequence is going to be a single leg glute bridge. You're going to do 10 on one leg and then 10 on the other. So immediately following your squat, whatever your preference there, you're then going to hit 10 single leg glute bridges on each side. Now the goal here is to try to keep a straight line from your shoulder to your hip to your knee to your heel, all right? And just raise those hips up. Give yourself a nice solid squeeze right at the top for maybe 1-2 seconds. All right, 10 of those on each side. Now the second part of your training session is going to be a work capacity. All right, work capacity insinuates that you are working. All right, work is not easy. In fact, it should be hard. This work capacity is going to be 4 rounds for time or a 12-minute time cap, whichever happens first. So you're going to be jumping, you're going to be pushing, and you're going to be lunging. On the tactical side of things, that looks like 50 double unders. All right, 50 double unders. Your feet are together, your hands are at your side, you're in that perfect anatomical position, you are breathing. Once you've completed 50 double unders, you will then grab your barbell, clean it up, and you will hit 15 push presses. Now, this was intended to be a little bit of a lighter weight, hence the 15 repetitions. You should be able to do at least that first or second set. All right, I would say at least 2 sets unbroken. We have chosen the weights 95 and 65, but if you cannot complete at least 15 repetitions unbroken for 2 rounds, you might want to dial it back a little bit. All right, on the practical side of things, that's going to look like 50 penguin taps. All right, so 50 penguin taps for jumping up and down, and you're trying to get that little double tap at the top. Could you do single unders? I suppose so, but I believe the penguin taps may get you a little closer to the double under than you think. All right, and I think they're a little bit harder than single unders. So 50 penguin taps instead of the double unders, and then 10 and 10 single arm push press. All right, so a little bit more volume, but if you have limited equipment, you could use 1 kettlebell or dumbbell. You're looking for 10 single arm push presses on each side. Now let's talk about the third movement in this sequence, and that is some sort of lunge. All right, on the practical side of things, you're going to grab a kettlebell or a dumbbell, and you're going to hold it in that kind of goblet position, and we're looking for goblet lunges. Now, a nice thing about holding that weight up near the chest is going to keep that spine nice and tall, all right? It's also a little bit harder to breathe, so it's a work capacity. You're working, not supposed to be easy, all right? So if you're like, man, this is hard, you are correct, absolutely. All right, so 10 goblet lunges, or on the tactical side of things, 10 front rack lunges. Now, every now and then, the front rack lunge has a tendency to bother people's wrists. So if we need to go from this beautiful front rack lunge into an also beautiful front rack lunge position, what I call the I Dream of Genie, right? You just gotta nod your head like that a few times. Your choice, but we're looking for, right after you complete that 15th push press, going right into 10 lunges. That's 5 on each side, practical and tactical. Hopefully that makes sense. You have 4 rounds or 12 minutes. If you have questions, talk to your coach. The question of the day is, are you more of a Jedi or a Sith?